Hello, my name is Olivia Coleman, and I am a 21-year-old new graduate from Davidson County Community College with a degree in medical laboratory technology. Over the course of my program, I was able to visit various sites at clinicals, so I was able to see the difference between a laboratory in a hospital opposed to LabCorp or Quest Diagnostics or any just office type like that. I was able to perform a lot of skills that I had learned in the program, such as performing QCs on instruments, learning how to work efficiently, and my time management skills have increased greatly just from being in clinicals and just learning how the flow of the laboratory works. I would have to say that I am pretty good at time management, and I am responsible and very dedicated when it comes to my work. I'm a hard worker, and I love multitasking. I like having something to do right after another, not having to just sit around and wait for something to come down to the lab or just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I like to be working, and knowing that by releasing the results effectively and accurately, that could determine possibly the life or death for the patient that is sitting upstairs in the bed. I would like to apply for the position of medical laboratory technician at Wake Forest Baptist Health just because I am a giver, and like I said, I know just from clinical sites and having family members that waiting on lab results, that getting those back in a time efficient manner and just having just knowing that your labs are okay, or if they're not okay, then the doctors know immediately that they need to get you into the hospital and that they need to take care of you. It's just the thought of one little thing making a big, huge difference, like somebody's blood work or their urinalysis. That's just one little thing can determine whether they're okay or not, or potentially life or death. I have made a mistake in my years working at the nursing home throughout the program at DCCC. I actually forgot to chart a patient's urine sample or urine output before I left to go home. I just had a really bad day at work and I wanted to go home, and I thought that I had done it, but I did not. And so I had to actually turn around on my way home from work to go back and put it in the computer myself, because I didn't feel like the CNA that came in to replace me, I didn't feel like she needed to do that because that wasn't her responsibility. And so I kind of just took matters in my own hands and just went and did it myself. I am a big fan of multitasking, and I would have to say that is probably one of my strongest strengths. I don't like I said earlier, I don't like just sitting around waiting for a lab sample to come down, or just sitting there knowing that I can't do anything to help the patients that are being seen in the hospital that day, or ones that have already been there for about 2 weeks and they're just waiting on a micro to figure out what they have, or urinalysis to come back, or something like that. I also feel like if a doctor sends down something and they're like, can you run this ASAP, then that would be first on my to-do list for work that day, because prioritizing your work should be based off the doctor's orders and not, oh, well, I think I'm just going to do this one first, or I'm going to wait and do this one later because I really don't like culturing samples, so I'm just going to wait and do that later. I feel like it's almost as come as served. So if somebody sends down a urine sample and they're like, can you run your analysis on this, and then yeah, sure, that's great, instead of waiting and just waiting for another sample to come down and being like, hey, I think I'm going to do this instead because I really don't feel like running a urinalysis right now. I just honestly feel like applying for this job and knowing that I am confident in my work as a laboratory technician, and that I am going to be able to send out lab results to the doctors accurately and proficiently, that I just have an impact on that patient's health and could possibly help determine life or death for that patient and help out the the doctors and physicians to figure out what is wrong with that patient. And that's what matters to me most, helping people out.